start recording. Cool. So thanks. Today is February 6th. Dov and Sunjung are discussing the outcomes of async sketching session for the CI/CD catalog. And thanks everyone who participated this exercise. And I can share my screen. How about that though? So yeah. So we would like to walk you through like what was the outcome, like what kind of design that you shared and submitted to this issue. And then there is also the summary of like what do you think with what type of information was most important that our team members think. And there's a summary on the right side. So if we go from the icebreaker question, the question was like, what do you like about some of the competitors when you're using the CI/CD catalog or the CI/CD feature in general? But it was mostly focusing on the catalog. And it seems like, yeah, it's just interesting to see that it's like sticky note has different type of characteristic, I would say. So it seems like our team members like to see GitHub Marketplace. It's more intuitive, and the layout wise is also easy to navigate when they read through the instructions. And then they also mentioned the well-defined template, which is grabbing the README file from the repository, right?
Yep.
So yeah, there is also the verbatims here that you can also see it later. And then for the Circle CI is mostly the common benefit of like having orbs is like they hold multiple components inside, so they can hold multiple functionalities. And then their sidebar is also easy to navigate because they have long content sometimes. And then they have it on the left side, and then it was good for them to navigate through using the sidebar. And then the Circle CI, I think it's the template structure that they provide, right? I'm not so sure. I haven't go through the process.
It's instead of like going to the file folder structure, you can also go to the left navigation side and click on each section, and it will show you the content of the file structure without going into the repo itself. So you don't even need to go to the repo in order to fully understand what you have. While in GitHub Marketplace, it's trade-offs. Okay, it's basically trade-offs. Either you get like a really clean experience of the marketplace or the catalog, but then if you want to go into the details, you need to dive into the repo, or you get like more information in some sort of for instance, the left navigation side, but it means you have like more clicks and more things to do within the catalog itself.
Yep. Thanks for sharing that. So this was kind of like learnings from the competitors. And then we move on to the lovely designs here. So I just try to put each team member's name and then their design. And then there are a lot of things going on. So what I have done, for example, sorry, Mark, I use your example. And then I just try to group by the information. For example, like Mark used the name, and then there's like 3 CTAs description. So what kind of metadata that he used in this design here, and then what kind of like supplement information that did he like to illustrate using this design. So I just try to analyze everything based on the comments and then also the design itself. So for example, for the index page, like what kind of information that our team members would like to filter by, and then what kind of search should we need to provide for the user. So that's something like that. I'm not going to the details. You can just like walk through this board, and this board is accessible by everyone, so you can see the details later when you have time. Do you think it's okay for me to move on to the next step though?
Yes.
Sure. Thanks. So based on your amazing design, we came up with this 3 different themes. So I would say this is the most, of course, important thing that we need to focus on, like discoverability and usability. And this is tangible area, as you can see. It's more like what kind of information is needed for user when they need to find the right components. What kind of information is needed when they'd like to, okay, I'm going to use this component, and then what we should provide for them. And these two themes, collaboration and trust, is like less tangible item, I would say, but it's also very important just considering the usage of this context for user. So for the collaboration, they have two different parts. One for the maintainers who are maintaining these components and then the components library. And then the other part was like, is it really easy for the first time user? Because like it's their collaboration, considering it's a private catalog, and then there's a developer who used this template, but there's also another team member who maintained this. Like, is it really easy to set the access level? And then is it really easy for them to collaborate efficiently enough? And of course, like all of these things should happen under this trust baseline. Of course, this is slightly more relevant to public catalog concept, but it's interesting that a lot of team members also mentioned that they want to see the author, they want to see if this components project is verified or not, and also the popularity, like how many times this project reused, how many number of stars, forks. So it should be all happening based on the trust. So these are the three themes based on this sketching exercise coming up. And Dov, do you want to add some more details?
No, I think you covered that nicely. As you mentioned, we need to think about two types of users. One is the maintainer, the author is doing like the publishing and unpublishing, and on the other hand, the users that it consumes the component from the catalog.
Yep, that's true. So I think we also always need to keep thinking about it, because it's publishing and unpublishing is happened by those author, while there another layer of user who would like to just interested in finding the component and just try to use and adopt these components to their project. There are two different type of target users that we need to think. And yeah, if you have any other question or any discussion point, if this discussion inspired you, please feel free to reach out to us and we can have another round of discussion. And as a next step, though, maybe I can share this, that there will be another fun and lighter version design activity will coming up. We haven't like thought about the actual timeline yet, but this will coming up fairly soon. So we like to hear from you again, and then based on this information here that you amazingly draw using the tool and using your pen and paper, thanks to this information, I'll start like wireframing work from this week. So stay tuned on the design issue, and we look forward to see your comments and participation in another design activity in the next few weeks. Thanks.
Thank you.